MD Prepper here, talking about caffeine in an SHTF or long-term emergency scenario. I already had a video on just coffee options for long-term prepping and short-term emergencies, so I won't go into all the details, obviously. You can go back and watch the other video. Obviously, you've got your caffeine that you've already got. You've already got your coffee. You've already got your tea that you've got just using regularly. Well, that's not going to last a particularly long time. It's going to go stale if you don't use it, so use it. You've got to have the caffeine to stay alert. Good stuff. Good morale booster. Improves thought, keeps you awake if you've got to stay up for long periods of time, those sorts of things. So once your standard coffee that you already got runs out, first line, obviously instant coffee, about 18-month shelf life, relatively inexpensive. This was $1 at Dollar Tree. They also have the decaf. Next, if you want some real longer term storage, Patriot Supply's got this Franklin's Finest instant medium roast coffee, which will last 20-25 years in these Mylar containers. Okay, great. Finally, you can buy the beans. You can buy the unroasted coffee beans. Make your own 20-25 year shelf life. Cool, great. But you can't grow coffee here in the United States. Okay, you can't renew your supplies unless you live in Hawaii, and then I guess you're in pretty good shape when it comes to coffee. We talk about preparedness and self-sufficiency and self-reliance, all these things. Coffee's out. Okay, coffee's only going to last you so long. You're going to run out unless you've just got warehouses full of this stuff, and it's not that cheap. I think this was $12.99, which is not terrible. So obviously other choices. You've got your tea bags and tea leaves and things like that. Again, you're going to run out of those supplies. Of all the caffeine sources that are out there, other than just stockpiling caffeine tablets, which is not necessarily a bad idea. I may do a separate video on that. You can always grind this up and put it in your pine needle teas or something like that. You can stock lots of these. I think this is 90 caplets. Obviously small storage space. You can put these in Mylar bags in like a medical kit or just a drink kit. You can make something caffeinated if you had to. But the only thing you can grow in North America that's going to contain caffeine is tea. I got some tea plants, Camellia sinensis, I believe it is. So tea is a type of camellia. Got that from a place up in Chapel Hill, it's a nursery that works with just camellias. I'll send you the link and put it below. But I have some tea plants growing right now. They're still small, not ready to harvest yet, but you can harvest them up to 3 times a year. It's something called the flush. You get 3 flushes a year, and it depends on the soil quality and the way you prepare the leaves as to whether you get a green tea, oolong tea, or black tea. The flavors change a little bit, just like Darjeeling has to be from the Darjeeling region of India. You're not going to be making that, but you can make basic black and green teas. Cool. You can also buy the seeds, okay, if you want some storage here. So that's just to show you. I do have those tea plants growing outside, but there's snow on the ground, there's been a bear around, and it's dark. So I don't like you guys enough to go out there in bear country just to show you a little twig growing up out of the ground. So looking to make that actually a windbreak hedgerow for the northern side of my beehives for the northern winds. So if you're a beekeeper, tea plants bloom in November, which is about the only thing here in South Carolina that will bloom. Now you ask, can I grow tea in my area? Well, I live in South Carolina. I can grow it here. I know I can grow it here. The very first attempt to grow commercial tea in the United States was here in upstate South Carolina where I live. I've got a connection with Clemson Extension who knows about it and has worked with the one tea plantation down in Charleston that still operates. And he said, yeah, once you get the roots set up, root system growing, they're pretty hardy plant, they'll do pretty well. Just don't let it grow into a full-size tree. Otherwise it's too hard to harvest. You got to keep it low. So I ordered these, this says green tea seeds on there, but it's not really. It depends on how you prepare it. The plant is the same. Okay. Typically the best green teas come from China, and the best black teas are from India. Soil qualities, all that kind of stuff. Not to get into that there. I understand from what I've read, you can actually grow these in containers, and certainly in a greenhouse if you had them. So southern is probably going to be the better spots, but I don't see any reason if you've got a greenhouse or a small potted tea plant or 2 or 3 that you can't grow these up north. Maybe not Alaska, but anyway, growing your own tea. I'm not getting into grand details about that, but something to think about, guys. It's not expensive. The tea plants were not ridiculous to order and have shipped. They're growing well, I think. Not having any experience growing them. Maybe if you've got some camellia growing experience, you would have a one-up on me. Anyway, growing your own tea in the long term, be a good thing to trade, be a good thing to have. Just, heck, local, just to sell it locally. Hey, this is local South Carolina tea that I grew here in the upstate, I don't know what the laws are about selling that, but, barter, trade, give it to gifts as friends, whatever. So growing your own tea, that's probably the ultimate long-term answer for keeping your caffeine supplies in stock. MD Prepper out.